Talking about
I'm sitting
drinking coffee.
in the Tinner's Arms in Zennor with Suzanne, and she's going to chat to me about her modelling career.
Okay. Well, I was really from a farming family in Cornwall, and so I'll just start at the beginning. My father wanted to marry a farmer, and I rebelled actually and left Cornwall and went to London, and I did a modelling course and joined an agency and did some modelling, and it was quite hard in those days because you were very vulnerable to all sorts of goings on in the agencies, and but anyway, I had some interesting people who I knew, photographers who were interested in taking pictures of me, but sometimes there was a hidden agenda where they would say, if you come to my cottage in Surrey, I'll do a whole portfolio of you. Here's a pussycat here.
Yeah, I know.
And so I sort of didn't really enjoy that part of it, but I enjoyed.
When was this, Suzanne?
It was in the 60s, 1960, mid-60s.
Yeah.
Yes, and it was quite a competitive. There were about 5,000 models in London at that time, but they used to send me out for assignments and just used to say to me, just say you're 5'6". I was 5'4", and they would say, I think the minimum age you had to be for modelling, being a house model, was 5'6". So I used to go along and they'd say, put that dress on. I put the dress on. They'd say, how tall did you say you were? And I'd say 5'6". They said, I'm not sure about that. Anyway, so I could never be a house model, so I did photographic modelling. Okay. Which meant that I was sort of advertising hair model. I worked for Weller and worked for various strange things like weird stuff, shoe modelling, a bit of that, and things, not hand modelling because my fingers weren't straight enough. No. And then after I was in London for about 6 years, but I was working also as a temporary secretary. I did all sorts of other temporary work. I was lucky because my dad sort of supported me. So I had my little Mini Cooper and I used to race around London in it.
I can imagine.
Yeah. And I met some very interesting people. And I had some nice. I used to love going out to all the clubs and things. I went to Scotch St James. I used to go to the Marquee and see all the bands that are now famous. I sort of enjoyed doing all of that stuff in London, the London life, and it's going to rain now. Let's just go.
Pour down, isn't it?
It's going to pour down.
We've been dodging showers.
Should we go under the cover?
Yeah, it's under the gazebo.
It's going to really pelt down in a minute.
This always happens on fashion shoots. I feel as though we're in one now. Look at that leather jacket.
Oh God, yeah. Well, I tried to look like you said we were going to the well, and I was trying to look like a witch with a black hat on.
Not a bad effort.
But the sunglasses, I don't know.
Yeah. Has it gone?
Yeah, that was like a whoosh of something, wasn't it?
So how did your folks feel about you going off to London to do modelling?
They didn't like it at all because my ex-husband went to London to go to university, so it was my chance to go and join him, which I did, and so we lived there, and they didn't really like it, that me going off to London. They wanted me to marry a farmer and stay in Cornwall. I left school at 14.
Did you?
Yeah, and because they didn't want me to be educated, they want me back on the farm, and it was quite. So yes, then I decided I didn't want to remain. I wanted to get out of Cornwall, and I wanted to experience some other life that was more exciting, and so that's what happened.
That was the swinging 60s, really, wasn't it?
It was, yes, it was. Carnaby Street and all of that. It was a lovely time, a great time to be in London, but also it could be quite lonely. But I did enjoy and met lots of interesting people, and Terry O'Neill, the photographer.
Oh yeah. Wasn't he married to Faye Dunaway?
I think he was at one point, yeah. But yes, it was a very interesting time to be there. And the fashion, I loved the fashion, and the clubs at the time were amazing. And yeah, I even went to the same club that the Stones used to go to, called the Scotch of St James, and the Who, I used to see them there. And yeah, it was a great time. But then I went to America because my ex-husband did his PhD.
So you went to London
Yeah.
with your then boyfriend who became your first husband?
Yes. I joined him in London, yes. And
so you were,
yeah.
although you were in the modelling scene, you were actually attached,
Yeah.
you know, in a relationship with him.
I was sort of not been with students as well, but of course I wasn't educated. I left school at 14, so I hadn't got any educational qualifications. So, but then when he went to America to do his postdoctorate,
it's coming down now.
Yeah, it's going to come. I
Let's
think we should go
slide next door.
Yeah. Did some modelling there for the Mercedes Excalibur. It was a car company, made about 6 cars, and I think Oil Shapes had them. There were about 6 of them in the world, and we went on a location everywhere to take photo shots and in this car, a whole day's work, and I got paid quite a lot of money for that, enough to buy an amazing Marantz sound system, which was quite expensive for one day's work. So
where was that in America?
it was in the Midwest, Madison, Wisconsin, but it was in Milwaukee where the agency, I joined the agency in Milwaukee, model agency, and they used to send me out on things. So I did some work for Schlitz, the brewing company. At the time we don't make the beer anymore. Also, yeah, to say Mercedes Excalibur. But I also worked I did some voluntary work there whilst I was there for the Arthritic Foundation, and then I worked in a topless cocktail bar while I was there. No, I wasn't topless, by the way. Whilst I was there, I sat in on university courses, and you couldn't get credits for your work there, but you could sit in on courses. So when I left America, my friend said to me, you need to get educated, you need to carry on with your education. So when I got back to England, I decided to do O-levels. So I was 27.
Right.
O-levels and A-levels.
Have you ordered a taxi, guys?
No. And a degree. I did O-levels, A-levels and a degree, and it took me 11 years, and I graduated when I was 38.
Okay, and what was the degree in?
It was a B.Ed honours degree, so it was, yeah. But it was quite hard to do that, but my ex was very encouraging and said, you know, I got a 2-1, and he said, if you want to do a master's, why don't you go carry on? But I didn't. But I got a job teaching, so, yeah, a bit boring after all, exciting.
Modelling career lasted how many years?
Probably until I was for about 7-8 years, I guess. Yeah.
And got some wonderful photographs, which you've shown me. Doesn't look like you, I've got to say, Suzanne. It looks like.
Doesn't look like me.
Doesn't really look like you, but I guess it's a very 60s look, isn't it?
They say my granddaughter looks a lot like I looked at that age. And my friend, I've been in Switzerland, she's known me since I was 18, and she saw a picture of my 21-year-old granddaughter, and she went, wow, she looks just like you looked when you were at that age, you know.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I think we all change, don't we, as we get older. But yeah, so life's been quite interesting, really. Done lots.
Oh, now you're an artist.
No, no. And I don't look back.
Yeah, that's right. You've got everything you need.
Yeah, I think.
Or have you?
Not really. But anyway, I'm happy with my life. Yes, it's been a good life. I've had a lot of fun and good health.
Yes, that's the main thing.
And I love sport, and I love to keep active, and go to the gym. And I feel very lucky. I've got a lot of gratitude for, and now I'm back in Cornwall and it's back into my roots. But and I love it. I love it here. So.
But you do. You're a bit of a jet set girl, aren't you? You've just come back from Switzerland.
Yeah.
And you go skiing and you go off to is it Morocco?
Yes, I go to Spain, to Andalusia. My friend's got a place there, so it's lovely to go there and have a different sort of location, because I think it's good to live in different. To actually, I've lived in America and Australia. I did a teacher exchange, a Commonwealth exchange program. I did that a year in Australia and travelled around Australia and New Zealand, which was fabulous, So yeah, that was a good bit of teaching.
And you were married to an American, weren't you?
No,
Oh,
no, I had a relationship with an American, yes, for quite a number of years, and we travelled a lot together, and I lived there with him for 6 months and another 3 months, and he was a lot of fun and very generous, and we had a nice time for a while, but then it wasn't the ultimate solution for me. I think he wanted to get married, and I did think about it for a while, but I decided against it in the end, and we actually bought a cottage. Nearly put a deposit on a cottage down at Lamorna called Cliff Cottage. It was the old counting house.
I know.
Do you know it?
Yeah, I do.
But that didn't quite work out, which was really annoying. But because there were all sorts of stipulations on renting it out and different things you couldn't do. It was all owned by the people who own St Michael's Mount. What's it?
Yeah, St Albin.
St Albin, that's right. But it would have been wonderful. But anyway, that didn't happen, and various things. But we used to spend every holiday together, travelling. I'd either be over there or he'd be here. So yeah, it was good. But things don't always work out. But we were together for a long time. But then, unfortunately and sadly, he died about 3 years ago. But we hadn't seen each other for a number of years. But we used to phone up every a couple of months and just say, "What scam are you up to now?"
Yeah. And what did he do?
He ran nurseries, garden centres. Yeah, and so he was character. He was the one, I think I told Beth that he was convinced that he was here 4,000 years ago as a tribal chief.
Yes.
At Stonehenge.
I overheard that conversation and I thought I must pick that
and
up some other time.
I am wearing this, I did wear it for you today, Bobby. I thought this is a Paleolithic arrowhead that he actually, he said, I've given you my best arrowhead. Right. And he actually, he had it set in gold for me. He had a collection of arrowheads, all these cases of them. He used to go out and get where the Native Americans used to sort of set up their camps down by the rivers, and when the fields are ploughed, and he lives in Pennsylvania, were ploughed, he'd go and search for the arrowheads, and he had a vast collection, and he had also a lot of Native American artifacts as well. That he was very much into that, but he thought that he'd never been to this country until he met me. He'd never been outside of America. So when he did come, we did go to Stonehenge, and we walked around. And he used to send me, I bought the ring as well.
Okay.
Letters.
Good.
And he'd put 3 daggers on the back. And he said there was a stone in Stonehenge that he had put this graffiti on 4,000 years ago. And so when we did go around Stonehenge and we were walking around, it was a big day like today. It was raining, and I had an umbrella. Put the umbrella. It's when you could walk around close to the stones.
Yeah.
And I said, "Well, where is it then? Where are these 3 arrows?" And he said, "Well, turn around," and there they were, 3 arrows and arrowheads.
Really?
Anyway, he got this dagger made for me, this ring made for me, which is like a cornelian with a dagger on it. He always used to put the 3 daggers. It wasn't the arrowhead. Sorry, what am I talking about? I'm getting confused. It was daggers on the back of the stones, like this.
And he said that he put those there
4,000
years ago.
Because he was. So then we got in the car and he got me to drive to this barrow where he said he was buried, and he said that in those days, the wives used to go into the burial chambers with the husbands. Apparently,
Yeah.
I can't believe that.
I mean, did you think he was making it up, or was it romantic?
But how would he have made it? He could. But how were those daggers on the stones? I didn't. Yeah, that was very. That made me sort of think, how did he know about that? But my son said he could have actually read up about that, because he was very much into, archaeology and ancient history. So he's very interested in these sort of.
It's a bit of an elaborate scam on a date, isn't it? I suppose, to impress a woman. And you weren't impressed.
Well, actually, it actually shook me when I looked around and saw that. I thought, oh God, well,
Yeah.
maybe he was here 4,000 years ago. I
Yeah.
don't know. But anyway, it was interesting. But so you had this side to him that was, he believed in these things that he was here
Yeah.
4,000 years ago, and he was a tribal chief. So who knows,
Absolutely. But you did let slip as well, which I overheard, that he wasn't the love of your life.
No, that was someone else, but that didn't work out either. So really, that was. But then, I've met some very interesting people and men, and I've had nice relationships with. You can't have everything, Nothing's going to last forever, is it? Really.
No.
But one particular person who everybody loved, it wasn't just me. He was one of those guys that people fell in love with.
Right.
Yeah.
So, do you want to just say what those characteristics are? Not you personally, but just what are those kind of characteristics that make women fall in love with someone like that?
I think that he was just a larger-than-life character. If he walked into a room, everybody was sort of. He was 6'3", so he was tall, but he had this larger-than-life personality. He was great fun. I don't know, what is it? This sort of chemistry that somebody has, or some sort of presence, or some sort of charismatic personality, where everybody sort of who knew this person just thought he was wonderful, And he was just one of those people. He was fun to be around, you'd always want him at a party. But then he had another side to him as well, which was sort of more of a, he was looking for something as well. I think we're all looking for something, and I was a lot older than him. I was 10 years older.
Right.
I'd been married, and I had got a son. He'd never been married, and he was. So it was the age and stage difference,
Yeah.
which and his family also were not keen that he was with me. So I've learnt since that they did a lot to try and warn him off me. I don't know why, but But I still think we had a bond, even right to the end. He did marry someone else, and he did have children, which I was happy about, because I thought he'd make a great father. But anyway, he, it was like, unfortunately, he died again.
Oh dear. I did jokingly say, come dressed as a witch today, because we were going to go to more of a well, but you'd have left a trail of destruction.
I was really upset.
Shouldn't laugh, really. That's not funny at all.
It's not funny. It's nothing to do with me. That's really bad. No, it's no, so it's interesting. What can I say? Yeah, it's I did have my stepmother. My step grandmother was a witch, or a charmer, who used to charm things, warts and stuff in the cattle. My dad used to ring her up and say that it was what they have, cattle have abortion. It's called blue water. That's whatever it's called, red water, where they drop the calves. So he'd ring her up and saying that was happening, and she would do something like charm the cattle, and also when something happened, like if they got ringworm or something like that, the cattle, he'd ring her up, and she did, and she was so I guess she was a white witch, a healer or a charmer, and that's quite normal, I think, in Cornwall, isn't
Yes,
it?
it is. especially in the farming community.
Yes,
of course.
definitely, definitely. Yeah, so I think in terms of, I think we've lost a lot of those skills. You know, people who knew about nature. My father never wore a watch, but he always knew what time it was. You know, you just learn to use nature, and also in animal care, I think we've lost a lot of that. You know, to deal with animals and cure them of certain things. You don't often need the vet. You know, I remember that. So, but yeah, it was unusual. I thought it was normal. And my father could divine water, and you know, it was quite normal for me to go out with him as a child in the fields, and he'd need to tap some water for the cattle or something, and he'd pick a piece of willow off the tree, and you know, and this willow would just go round and round when he came to water. So he could divine water. And I've met people who can divine medically and divine to find things, and you know, so I have met diviners since, and I realised that it's not quite normal, but I thought as a child that was what, yeah, anybody could do that.
Yeah.
So yeah, Cornwall is full of
divine people.
Definitely. Yeah, well, we are. Yeah, Bob.
We are. Yes. And
we're sort of what would you call us?
Divine.
Divine. God. Yeah.
Okay.
Well.